Now, most of us have heard the term becoming your own central bank, and it can be confusing if you're new to precious metals or if you have been storing your money in a deposit account all of your life. And ultimately, I want this to be a guide for you taking back of your finances. Personal sovereignty over your money is what I mean, and the rest of the world is actively trying to manage it or steal bits and pieces from you. The economy is experiencing a lot of disturbings right now, and everyone is feeling it. I don't think I need to stress the obvious, such as sky high inflation, the roller coaster stock market, and it's the world's most irresponsible central bank that is responsible for the war on wealth. I'm talking about the Federal Reserve, and I find it really strange that the current administration tries to deflect blame and point fingers at everyone from Putin to the Fed instead of taking responsibility to fix the problem. You know what they've been trying to say. Inflation is transitory since 2021, and only just recently did they admit defeat with Janet Yellen acting so surprised, right? Oh, inflation is so high, and I had not a clue, I didn't know. Now, we can only protect our own money by relying on ourselves at the end of the day, and we won't be saved by the cavalry. Now, it's going to be critical to have some cash outside of the system, as well as the commercial banks. Your money isn't 100% safe today. If there is a large catastrophic event, these banks have the ability to take your money and bail themselves out. And we call this a bail-in. This is vastly different from a bailout in which governments merely step in and give banks a bunch of money. The banks don't have 100% of the deposits on hand, as many people probably understand. Most of the money is loaned out with roughly 5% being kept. Therefore, if everyone comes knocking for their money, the bank will collapse if everyone demands their cash. Remember that your money deposit is considered a liability by the bank. It's laughable. As a result, they consider it a burden to pay out interest on your account while protecting it at the same time. When Cyprus banks failed in 2013, they effectively took a portion of their depositors' money. As a result, if you had over 100,000 euros, around half of the excess savings had been taken away by the bank. Now let's dive in about Lebanon, right? In 2019, the same thing happened to the bank as well. Accounts of the depositors were frozen for 2 weeks after banks suddenly closed, and people are still fighting for their life savings to this very day. Now, stating the obvious, we all come from different walks of life, including our financials, of course. Now, some of you might be doing quite well and excelling, but we can assume that the vast majority of the population is hurting by all of the turmoil. No matter how much wealth you currently have, it would be quite depressing one day if your money was taken away by the banks, or poof, all of a sudden your cash is now gone. And many of us don't understand that the money that we have in the banks is really not ours. Yes, there are government measures such as the FDIC, which is supposed to cover up to $250,000, but that money would take a long time to be distributed. It might take a day, a week, or even a month. When there is chaos on the streets, who knows what to do? Are you still in possession of cash to buy food, gas in the meantime? And some say, in fact, that the FDIC is broke. So in the event that your bank has a bail-in, you might not get your cash after all. You're going to definitely want some cash out of the bank so then you can acquire the basic necessities of life. You better be first in line if there is a bank run because it really is a first come, first served basis, right? It is possible for depositors at the back of the line to lose their money if a bank only has a portion of the reserves and a bail-in occurs. Now, you don't want that to happen to you. Today's economy is really dicey, and as we move closer to a recession, it's anyone's guess how solvent each bank is or how exposed they are to toxic assets. Even if everything is fine on the personal banking side, they might have a zombie fighting trading book in their commercial or investment banking division. You should check the banking laws in your country and how much money is truly secure. Ask yourself this question: can you really afford to see your capital get taken away? Therefore, it is something worth considering. We need to be our own central bank for that reason. A central bank brings the whole wealth within reach. Whenever our country needs it, they can use it. You should do the same with your money. I'm talking about holding cash as well as gold and silver, right? Every central bank with a brain will keep lots of gold within its vault because it is truly a store of value, right? Take a look at the central banks around the globe. They made record-breaking purchases of gold in the past year of 2022. Now, this isn't financial advice, but my game plan is to do exactly what the central banks are doing, which is acquiring as much gold and silver as I can. So I don't know about you, but I'm just going to keep on stacking. So, what is your game plan? Until next time, I'll see you then. Take care.